What challenges us changes us. It strengthens us. It gives us wisdom. It makes us who we are today. Hi everyone, today's video is about looking at the things that challenge us the most and wondering if they may actually be or become our greatest strengths. To reframe anxiety or any other condition that we're currently struggling with, we have to try and view it from a different angle. Instead of seeing it as this thing that we're trying to bury away or get rid of completely, what about seeing it as part of what makes us who we are? Don't just zoom into the bad bits. Think about your good traits. Think about what you like about yourself. Would those things still be there if you didn't struggle with anxiety? If we start to recognize that some of our greatest strengths or greatest attributes might have actually come about as a result of having anxiety or having this condition, then we might be a little bit kinder to ourselves, accept ourselves, celebrate ourselves even. Now, I don't want to make any assumptions about how anyone else's anxiety affects them. What I do know is my own personal experience, my struggles and my self-reflection. So I'm going to talk about that now, but I'm curious to know if any of these are the same for you. Those of us who experience anxiety, we might find that we spend a lot more time on our own. Whether that is because we need to decompress from being in an overstimulated environment, or we need to just have more time to process all of our emotions. And if we're just worn out from having to socialize with a lot of people, and that can be quite draining in itself. Spending time on our own often means that we can get really into something, focusing on our hobbies or developing a skill in a new area. Spending time alone has been shown to cultivate our imagination, and it can make us more creative. We might end up channeling that creativity by producing some art or writing something or playing some music. I got into writing songs and poetry and performing music when I was a teenager, and I had so many emotions and none of the skills to be able to cope with those emotions. So I channeled that into music and creativity, and that became my coping skill. Does your anxiety make you more sensitive and caring? I definitely wouldn't be in the profession that I'm in today if I hadn't struggled so much with my own mental health. When we think and feel so deeply, often it means we're a little bit more attuned to other people's needs and other people's emotions as well. We might be able to relate to them on a deeper level because we know in some way how they might be feeling. Through the process of managing our anxiety, often we have to do a lot of work on ourselves to learn how to love ourselves deeply and unconditionally. And a sort of byproduct of unconditional self-love or self-compassion is to have more love and kindness and acceptance of other people. We learn to understand that we're all flawed, we're human, we're doing our best, we're doing the best that we can. Being compassionate and caring and sensitive, these are all really great traits. They make us good friends, good partners, good colleagues. It makes us pretty good healthcare professionals too. Does your anxiety make you more prepared? Now, I come from a long line of anxious women in my family, and one thing we're really good at is making sure that we are prepared for every single eventuality possible. My grandma, shout out to Big G, will always make sure that she carries around a fan with her wherever she goes because she knows she gets hot and flustered, and having the fan on her will really help calm her down and also look super chic. She always carries around mints in case her mouth gets dry, and she carries around water as well. There'll be 101 other things in the handbag that are probably not quite as useful, or so we think. But I've followed in her footsteps, and I make sure I have everything with me that I could possibly need when I'm going out and about. At one point after I did my first aid training for the very first time, they gave us rubber gloves, they gave us a mouth shield protector in case we needed to give anyone mouth to mouth. I carried that thing around with me for 2 years in my bag, just in case I needed to give anyone mouth to mouth anywhere that I possibly was. Packing for a holiday is another thing. If you're going away with an anxious person like me, you can guarantee that we have packed every single medication, first aid kit possible in our suitcase, just in case. Being prepared for everything is great, for us and for the people around us too. You can always guarantee we've got a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, probably a plan D, E, F. We have all the plans. Does your anxiety force you to make healthier lifestyle choices? Anxiety can often come with other health problems as well. If we're unlucky enough to have those as well, sometimes we're actually forced into making healthier choices so that we can keep those conditions under control. Because IBS, which is as a result of anxiety, doesn't really like it when I eat foods that are high in fat and high in sugar, I don't really have that choice anymore. So it sort of sucks, but my physical and my mental health is way better for it. Does your anxiety challenge you every day? And how does that change you? When we're battling with our health and our own minds, it's challenging. It can be so draining. It can feel really uncomfortable and unfair that we're having to go through this. There have been so many times where I've just felt so much grief and despair that my body and my brain is not working properly, it's not working in the way that I want it to work. When we get a bit further along in our recovery, it's important for us to be able to reflect back and consider how much we've learned about ourselves as a result of this ongoing battle we've been having. For example, if you were able to have therapy, how much did you learn and grow from that experience? If I didn't struggle with my anxiety, then I wouldn't be the person that I am today. I wouldn't have made the choices, the good choices, the bad choices that led to where I am now. What challenges us changes us, it strengthens us, it gives us wisdom, it makes us who we are today. So your anxiety might actually end up being your greatest strength. I want to finish up with this beautiful Maya Angelou quote, which is, "We delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but we rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve that beauty." Thank you for watching this video. I hope it has made you think about how you approach your own challenges and embrace your own strengths, because there will be so many. Let me know in the comment section below what this brought up for you, and make sure you're subscribed so you can see my new videos when they come out every week. Thanks again, and I will see you again next time.